welcome back to Cheap and Green. A few months ago, you may remember that I picked up from the Restore a whole bunch of used laminate flooring. Although Garner and I did do the office ourselves, we decided to hire somebody to do the rest of the third floor. There was some really tricky cuts, and because it's our bedroom and there's no place else for us to sleep, we didn't really want the bedroom torn apart for the probably 3 days that it would have taken us to do it. Unlike the office, in this room we were not able to reuse the baseboards. The baseboards were the sort of old 70s style. We weren't completely sure that they didn't have lead paint on them, and they certainly weren't very attractive and they weren't installed very well. So we opted to use a baseboard that matched as closely as possible the baseboard in the office, and add the quarter round for, just a little bit of extra finish, and also to keep the drafts away from the floor. Unfortunately, I was in charge of buying the replacement baseboards and I miscalculated. So we are short the baseboard needed to do just this one corner here. We have the quarter round, but we're short one piece of baseboard, so it's sort of maddening that it's not quite finished. But this is an easy thing to do, and Garner and I can do this ourselves. To save a little bit of money on this project, I did take out the baseboards myself. And of course we cleared out the room. And while I was taking out the baseboards, I found 42 cents in change that had somehow been lodged under the baseboards since the 70s. So thank you, house, for giving us money. Now the downside, of course, when you're buying used material, when you have a limited supply, is that sometimes there isn't quite enough. And we were just a little bit short, so we were able to find some additional used laminate that would fit in, and you really can't tell. I mean, you can tell right there because I'm highlighting it, but it's mostly behind the bed, and if I didn't point it out, you probably would never know. One of the other things that the contractor did that would have been, pretty hard for us to do is that all of the doors needed to be cut down, because with the additional height of the added flooring, the doors were scraping on the floor. So he was able to just pop the hinges out and take another inch off the bottom of the doors. And that can be really fussy if, you don't have proper tools and you don't really know what you're doing, which, that would be us. So getting the flooring done in this room was step one in the, bedroom redecoration project. And I did a video on that as well that I'll link to, that I was just really stuck on what to do with this room. But we decided that investing in the new floor was the first step that we really needed to make this room look decent at all. Now, step two is already sort of in progress, which is trying to replace the cedar chest. The cedar chest is beautiful, but we really want a TV in here, and it's just awkward. You can't put anything on top of the cedar chest because then you can't access anything in the cedar chest. And there's literally nowhere else in my house that this thing can go. So it's a little bit of a frustrating piece of furniture. I think it would look beautiful if you had a really large bedroom to put it at the foot of the bed, but that is not possible here. If it was at the foot of the bed, we would be hitting our heads on the ceiling. So that's just not a possibility. So what I did do was find a new, to me, dresser just on the online garage sale. And I only paid $22 for it. And it's sort of a 1940 style, and I'll put a picture in. So what we haven't done, we haven't brought it upstairs yet because it's heavy. But we're trying to figure out if it will actually fit. So I know it's 31 inches tall, so let's see. $31 is right about there. So that's 31 inches right there to about there on the TV. Will the TV fit? How tall is the TV? The TV is another 22 inches. think if the TV was moved out here, it would just fit. Let's hope. So that's it for this episode of Cheap and Green. Although maybe it's not so cheap to hire a contractor, there are times where the speed that you can get something done is worth a little bit extra investment. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.